are still living in a world where children are being deceived every single day. So, what can we do about it? What can you individually do about it? Number one, show up in unconditional love. Remember, you were once a child too, and regardless of how your upbringing was, however you felt that it was, or whatever you experienced, you too have to recognize that every single child is going through their own experience and perception and soul lessons as they continue to evolve to become the adults that you are watching this video today. The second is that you have to show up real, genuine, and authentic when they have questions, because the nature of technology means that a lot more kids are having access to it either in schools, through their peers, or at home, which means they may come across certain things. And so if they have questions, you must be honest and authentic about it. This is not about lying to children about the state of world affairs, okay? About what's going on in politics or on the news or whatever they learned about their favorite celebrity or whomever and whatever, okay? We're not lying to children here, all right? What we are doing is we are showing up in a way where we are answering their question with details that allows them to learn something new, but not live in a state of fear or confusion. We're not limiting them. And each and every one of you, whether you're a parent or not, will have the sort of awareness on how to do that is appropriate to the situation and where you're at. Something we can never do is lie to children, because they know. They will know if you're lying. And that's why we have a series and a generation of many rebellious adults who were once rebellious children, because they were lied to by the generation before them many, many times. Another thing to keep in mind is that our children, the children of the world, are also being deceived by the education system, by the things that they're learning in the education system, especially in the US. And until the system changes, which is a hard pill to actually swallow for the US government to actually facilitate an entire Department of Education change in terms of the materials and the books and what is taught as far as history goes. Parents, nannies, anyone who's of influence to children, you have an obligation and a duty and a mission here. If you are around a child, this is part of your mission work on earth, to actually educate children in a way where they're able to receive the truth about what's going on. Again, we're not scaring children. We're not inciting fear. We're just being honest that sometimes what they're being taught is not exactly the full truth. This is a very general message, which means you're going to have to navigate these kind of murky waters when the situation or question or scenario comes up regarding children around you that you may know who are having questions about what's going on in the world, or if they share what they learned in school and you have received knowledge throughout your journey. Maybe you're spiritually awakened or you're on the ascension path where you know that that information is not exactly accurate. All right. A week or so ago, I was actually nannying for these 3 kids that I've been nannying for. I've had the pleasure to nanny for the past 4.5 years. And they're incredibly bright, incredibly intuitive. Like, I almost feel like they can genuinely read my mind. It's insane. And, I know that they have their own sacred journeys that they need to live. And I know that they know that I'm aware of that. But something that they shared with me in their recent trip to DC was about the 9/11 memorial and what happened on 9/11. Knowing what I know about 9/11, which is not conspiracy, right? There's many videos that are out that show actually what happened in comparison to the headlines that were shared in mainstream media, right? And maybe some of you guys will or will not disagree or agree with me on this. I know my mother was at the Pentagon City Mall when it happened, and so she was told an entirely different narrative. And so, you're going to have to pick and choose and take what resonates here with what knowledge you've received and what you've learned and what proof you have seen regarding such matters, right? World events being a huge thing related to the history and what's taught in schools towards our children, right? For our children. And so, I had to choose my battles here, and I was deciding, okay, do I say something here? In that moment, I knew that I could not limit their experience or perception, because that was a valuable experience for them to have to go to the Capitol, to have experienced that kind of memorial around their peers in a prestigious school that they attend. And so I don't want to place any sort of restrictions on their perceptual experience on earth and allow them the freedom for them to discover what they need to learn regarding such events if and when they're supposed to and if that time comes for them, right? But I realized in that moment that something that can be very helpful, if in the event that a child around you does not ask questions, you have the opportunity to ask guiding questions, kind of like a supportive friend. What we're doing is asking questions to ask how they felt, what they learned, more details, and then you can go from there. Again, very general message, but you're going to have to sort of see the exact situation that is relevant for you and what topic has been brought on the table. And so, as a psychic medium, as a channeler, as someone who has been doing this work for the last several years, I am very confident in saying that I know that a lot more children are going to be tasked with this knowledge and awareness of questioning what is going on based on what they've been learning in school. And I'm not sure what every department of educational, school, public, private, what they are teaching. I think it's different. I know for the kids that I nanny, they go to a private school. And so you're going to have to be the person to decide if and when what to mention and what to share. And so that's where questions come in that will be very helpful to allow them to sort of see how they feel from what they learned, or gauge more details on what exactly they learned, and if it resonated with them or what their thoughts are on what they learned. This will be very imperative and supportive to them.